Some people don't fail. They don't quit. They don't even choose wrong. They just never decide. And years pass anyway. They feel busy but stuck, always preparing, always researching, always almost ready. Life looks like motion, but nothing moves. Days stack, opportunities fade. And the scariest part? No one notices, not even them. Indecision doesn't feel dangerous, it feels safe. No risk, no judgment, no failure. But indecision is a parking brake disguised as patience. The engine is running, the fuel is burning, but the car never leaves the driveway. Your brain hates loss. Choosing one path means closing others, and the brain screams, "What if you pick wrong?" So it delays, because delay feels like protection. But here's the truth. Your brain doesn't fear work, it fears regret. So it keeps all doors open until time closes them for you. They wait for clarity, they wait for confidence, they wait for permission. But clarity comes after motion. Confidence comes from action. Permission never comes. Waiting feels responsible, but waiting is still a decision, just not one you control. They collect choices like trophies, courses, ideas, backup plans. Every option feels valuable, but options without action expire, like currency that loses value every year it sits unused. They choose comfort daily, familiar job, familiar routine, familiar complaints. Nothing terrible, nothing great. Comfort becomes a cage with invisible bars, and the longer you stay, the harder it feels to leave. They don't know who they are, so they don't know what to choose. I'm not ready yet. I'm still figuring it out. But identity isn't found by thinking. It's built by committing. You become what you repeatedly do. They worry, what if I choose wrong and waste years? But here's the twist. Indecision already wastes them. Choosing wrong teaches faster than choosing nothing. Motion beats perfection every time. One day they notice it. Everyone else is moving, not perfectly, not smoothly, but forward. And the gap grows. Not because others were smarter, but because they picked a direction. Careers aren't contracts, they're experiments. Choose a direction for the next 2 to 3 years. That's it. You don't need the whole map. You need the next road. Close some doors, not forever, just for now. Progress requires sacrifice. Focus is the tax success charges. Pay it early. Readiness is a myth. Action creates readiness. Start clumsy, start unsure, start scared. Movement turns fog into feedback. Certainty doesn't compound, skills do. Choose something that builds transferable strength, communication, problem solving, creation. Skills travel even when plans change. Give yourself a date, not someday, a day that forces a choice.
Deadlines collapse fear. No deadline, no decision. Most people quit too early, before momentum kicks in, before confidence forms. Stay long enough to become dangerous. Depth beats wandering. Once they decide, something changes. Energy returns, focus sharpens. Even hard days feel meaningful, because moving forward feels better than standing still. You don't need the perfect career, you need a chosen one. Decisions create identity. Identity creates momentum. Momentum creates opportunity. The people who win aren't the ones who knew early. They're the ones who stopped waiting. If you're stuck, choose something. Choose direction over doubt, because time will move with or without you. The question is simple. Will you move with it or watch others pass, carrying the lives you almost chose? You'll see it in small moments. A former classmate, a quiet promotion, a project launched with shaky confidence but real momentum. And it stings not because they're better, but because they moved. They didn't wait for certainty. They picked a lane and started driving, while you were standing at the intersection reading every sign. Here's the truth most people avoid. Life rewards direction, not correctness. A wrong road still teaches. Standing still teaches nothing. Every year you delay, the cost increases. Responsibilities stack. Risk tolerance shrinks. Fear grows roots. What felt possible at 25 feels terrifying at 35. Not because you're weaker, but because the weight is heavier. This is the moment to interrupt the pattern, not tomorrow, not after more research, now. Choose the imperfect path, the one that scares you just enough, the one that requires effort but gives feedback. Because choosing badly can be corrected, choosing nothing becomes a lifestyle. One decision can collapse 10 years of drift. One commitment can turn fog into form. You don't need confidence to choose, you need courage to begin, and courage shows up after movement. So don't ask, what if I fail? Ask the real question, what happens if I never start? Decide, not forever, just forward, and let motion do the rest.